Hello and welcome to Smash Writing. And today we're continuing on down the franchise way of The Crow. We've reached The Crow Salvation. This is actually the very first Crow movie I ever saw when I was a kid. I watched it before the first one. And I've not just a bit nostalgic going for this movie, but I actually think this movie gets some unfair hate even after second watching. So, without further ado, let's dive in and talk about it, shall we? We open up with the execution of one Alex Corvus on his 21st birthday. He's being accused of stabbing his girlfriend, Lauren, 53 times. There's a witness that said they saw them arguing. You had all these police to talk about the evidence that points his way, even a murder weapon. But he's still sticking to his claim that there was someone who planted that there, a man with a zigzag scar. But they've exhausted all options, and the electric chair awaits him. Only whenever the switch has been flipped, the lightning bolt hits it, and it starts going sideways like crazy. And while all of this is happening and he's frying, the man with the scar reveals his scar, but he can't see who it is. It's just they're in attendance watching his execution. And it goes real bad because of the lightning bolt, and the mask actually fuses to his face. So they lock him up in the freezer, and the Crow brings him back right away. And he peels the skin off of his face, revealing the Crow makeup is scarred into him this time around. Much like the other two, he doesn't really remember what happened, so the Crow reminds him by taking him to the police, breaking into the police station, and showing him the files. And he gets hit with flashback after flashback after flashback, and he has the witness list and the police witness list who served, who worked with the prosecution during the trial, along with the knife that he allegedly killed Lauren with. So once he leaves the police station, he actually goes to the cemetery first to see Lauren's grave. And there's a weird moment where the statues have a statue for her and everything, a statue of an angel kind of deal. It starts crying blood, and then Erin arrives, Lauren's sister, and they get into a little bit of a heated conversation because he stresses that he knows all about her and he'll prove it to her soon. And he disappears when she calls her dad for help, and she's a little taken back by the crying statue thing. But it's off to the first witness, whose name is Tommy, I believe, and we find out that Tommy was guaranteed a job if he said the right things on stand. His witness statement was instructed on what to, he was instructed on what to say on the witness stand. He was instructed by the cops who were on the witness list. For a brief moment, we see the man with the scar. He's like adding metal into his arm. The scar is like self-made kind of deal. Those are metal bars in his arm. Just, quite weird. From there, he goes off, and it's the first cop he drops in on, who is currently in the process of assaulting two young girls he pulled over. And great reveal by Alex. There's a great reveal by Alex when he shows up, and he gets to the cop by himself. As cops swearing up and down, there's no man with the scar. He gets a flashback when he grabs a cop, and he learns that it was the cops who killed her. They were trying to assault her. She struggled and shot one of them in the foot. And that's what led to her being stabbed 53 times because they were angry that she wasn't complying. And Alex takes him out right away. And he leaves a message, the name Daisy imprinted on his forehead, which comes up when Erin sees the police report because Daisy is what everyone used to call her. We get another cop named Madden who's not on the list. He's delivering the news of the fallen cop's demise at an illegal club they're operating out of. We jump from there to the lawyer who was Alex's lawyer on the case. He's being bullied by the cops because they want a name, they want to know who's coming after him, and the lawyer's like, I have no idea. Of course he doesn't. While all this time Alex is watching from the outside. He catches up with the cop at a railroad crossing, gets him, takes over the vehicle, starts high speed chasing away from him. And once again, guy's not giving up. No idea who this guy with the scar is. But he does tell him that it was all about the money. She was interfering with the money. And while he's speeding around town and everything, he spots a name and an address on the registration. And it goes back to Lauren's dad. So he does what most would do. He wrecks the car into this, I want to say like railroad car, some truck or something. It causes both of them to go careening through the windshield. Guy breaks his neck on impact, but it doesn't die right away. Alex steals his coat and sets fire to the car, and everything explodes, taking out the cop cars that had been trailing them all this time. And Alex gets away. He drops in on Erin, and he explains about the registration, but she doesn't want to hear it. Not quite yet anyway, and she storms off. And we got two remaining cops now, and Aaron Maddox still standing, plus the big boss. The chief sheriff. He's overseeing all of this shit, and he's really pissed off because all of their acting up and everything is starting to bring unnecessary attention on their organization, and the boss is not happy about it at all. We're back to Erin, who's snooping around her dad's office and is busted, and she accuses him right away of what was happening and being in bed with the cops. And what had happened was Lauren found out about it, and they went after her. And now he's trying to be quiet for her sake, kind of deal. One of the cops tracked down Tommy at his house and are beating on him because they're not accepting the fact that this was Alex from the dad. End up throwing him out of the window and shooting his girlfriend. Well, Alex is off at the lawyer's office, and he's asking them to track down any information on the company called DERT, and specifically where the money's coming from and everything like that. When the Crow interrupts him, and he has to make a fast exit, and they track down Erin, who's at the location where Lauren was found. And she is lost in her grief at this point, because she's the one who told them about this location and where Erin liked to go with, Lauren liked to go with Alex. And she's feeling guilty because she pretty much told them where to find her so they can, kill her. And she mentions that she doesn't want to be alive. And this sends him off on a really weird response of giving her the flashback memory of Lauren's demise. Because if Lauren can fight through all of that, it shows that life is worth living. But I'm pretty sure she didn't need that fucking image in her head. It works and everything, but she probably could have been spared the imagery. Kind of a dick move on your part there, Alex. Chief is putting a visit in the prison. They realize that Alex's body is gone, and this is a phenomenon that he's heard of before. And he's read up on the Crow situation. And they know what Alex wants. Alex wants the man with the scar, so they are going to give it to him. And we get a little bit more of a conversation between Erin and Alex, and where I start to realize that is a really nice fucking jacket Alex is wearing. But he does send her off back home. And little does he know, the chief is at her house talking to her dad. The dad is trying to quit. That goes poorly for him. And by the time she gets there and finds him, dad is dead. So she races out of there. She grabs the gun from the tub, actually, and then races out of there. Alex is with the lawyer, learning about dirt, and specifically the club they own and operate out of, when Erin arrives with the news of her dad being dead. So he leaves her there, and he heads off to the club. And we get a big old shootout between the two remaining cops on his list and a bunch of regular cops they brought along with them. And Alex does away with all of them in a pretty decent action sequence, actually. And then it's just him and one other cop left, and they're breaking gas lines left and right. So when Madden shows up, Maddox or Madden? No, I'm second guessing myself. I keep getting these names wrong. I'll put it on the screen. I'm pretty sure it's Madden. And he shoots a shotgun, which blows up the entire place, leaving Alex, obviously the one standing. and he spots the severed arm of the man with the scar. His job is done. He's starting to lose his powers. And he stumbles back into the lawyer's office to find that it has been wrecked. The police chief had showed up. And she pulled the gun on him, but he was able to talk his way close enough to get the gun off of him and shoot the lawyer. But before the bodies are removed and he dies from his wounds, he puts the king over top of the chief's head in the picture of the newspaper. So he gives Alex the direction on where to go, and he goes off to the police station to meet with the chief, wanting to know where Aaron is. And the police chief at this point, he's got the upper hand because Alex is being depowered. And he puts it into Alex's head that Alex is the killer. He killed all the cops at the police station. He killed Lauren all this time. It's just him going crazy. And then stabbed him 53 times. So Alex is dead, and they take him to the back room where Erin had been hanging up from her arms like this, and her mouth has been stitched shut. And I guess they're gonna like taxidermy him. What's going on here? Because the chief is big in taxidermy. When the crow snatches the necklace he gave to Lauren. Oh, that just came out of fucking nowhere. But he snatched the necklace off of Erin, lays it down in front of Alex, which combined the two, which allowed Alex to not just recover, but to recover his powers too. He takes out Madden, who had survived the explosion, and then he takes out the one woman who's working with the police chief, and then he tracks down the police chief before he's trying to speed off with Erin. We end up back at the electric chair, where he traps him in, and Erin gets to throw the switch, and we end with the chief with a painful electrocution. But not before a pretty cool line with the chief saying that he will be brought back to because of this, and he will come after Erin when he does. Erin and Alex get to say goodbye. Alex is reunited with Lauren on the other side, and the movie cuts to black. Oh god, I'm trying to get through all that. Much harder than what it actually is. The dialogue in this movie is a real good 50-50 going on here. Alex has some great one-liners. The one about the where did we come from response was a line that me and my buddy still quote today, like 15 years later. He had some, are you happy yet? I'm working on it. He had some great one-liners. Granted, there was some real dog lines in this also. Some really random moments when Alex needs to make his final teleporting act. So they just have this random picture blow by that gets Aaron's attention. Like, that's fucking weird. But for the most part, it is really good. It's well scripted. It could have used a bit more buffering, but it is, for the most part, entertaining. I love the mystery angle of this. Of where we see all these people at times where the crow's been brought back, and we know what we're doing, we know who we're going after. But this time around, he's brought back, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know who was involved. He just knows he has to get to the bottom of it and find the man with the scar. The part where I'm iffy on is, like, I'm sure you can fool Alex. But Alex has been brought back by a higher power here with the crow. And the crow's not going to be as easily duped by this shit. So, like, he was getting depowered when he found the severed arm, but he had no idea who the severed arm belonged to. So, while Alex might believe it's all said and done, the crow wouldn't. So, how that would work for you is going to depend on how much you want to just fuck it and go on with it. For me, it was like, that was kind of dumb. I get you need him depowered so you have an advantage over him, and you didn't want to go hurt the crow route again. But I feel like that's kind of dumb. But I like them. The action sequences are fun. I like the fact that he's not a martial artist. He's not a big-time brawler. It felt just like a guy who just... He is supercharged. He might not know how to fight like, you know, Eric did, or he wasn't a bar fighter like Manuel, I believe was the second one. But he was just gung-ho. I'm superpowered. There's nothing you can do to me. So, full throttle force ahead. I like that. It felt like it's something new, something unique, without being over the top, another martial artist kind of deal. Actor wise, I thought everyone did all right. I love Fred Ward. Just in general, I think that guy's great. Can't say anything wrong about Kirsten Dunst. And Alex, who was played by Eric Mabius. I thought he even did a really good job. I like the look too of this crow. It's something different, something unique. I like the scarring because it wouldn't make sense for him to just do his makeup like that. Because in the first crow it was a reference to the mask, and second crow Sarah did it in reference to Eric. So having it be scar tissue worked really well, and I thought it looked really well. So my final grade for the Crow Salvation, let's give it a B plus. B plus. It's really enjoyable. I don't think it quite makes an A, but I had a great time. I do suggest giving it a watch. Be a bit open-minded. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still a good time. And with that, as always, have a good day, evening, night, afternoon, wherever you are. And as always, bye-bye.